Okay, this video is about how love acts. Now there's one thing, love is active, and how love acts is a different idea. Active means that love does things, it doesn't sit around, it doesn't hide in an ivory tower. But when love acts, it means kind of like reacts, but we don't always need some kind of a stimulus. We don't always need something to jump on us to tell us to act. We act, we take action, love takes action. So that's what we do with love. It doesn't stand by and watch others suffer. You know, when love sees something that's out of alignment with love, when it feels compassion and it says, wow, I really have compassion for this situation, for this person, for this thing, then love acts. It isn't passive. There's a very famous example of the people who live in some very, very poor cities. There's a city in India where the people live on the pavement. They're born, they live, and they die. Their whole life is on the pavement in the big city, and they're begging all their lives, and they're poor all their lives, and they're sickly because they don't have proper nutrition or proper shelter. People walk over them, the businessmen in their suits with their briefcases, not only in the big cities in India, but the big cities in America. People will sit on the street and beg if they're not arrested by the police. And people just ignore them and walk over them. Well, love acts. Now, that doesn't mean that we always give everything that we have so that we disable ourselves, so that we destroy our own lives. But it does mean that we are not ignoring the needs of others. So love acts, love takes action. Love is when it sees something, it does something about it. So how can we take action on a day-to-day basis if we're always caught up in our own problems? Well, if we're not so distracted, we can make a decision. A decision to be an active part in our environment, show compassion to others, even strangers, even in uncomfortable circumstances. I mean, if you've ever been around a person who's chronically homeless, their clothes smell, their body smells, they haven't shaved, or they're not taking care of themselves. So there can be a lot of interesting things that are a challenge about just their physicality as well as their behavior. Could be very dysfunctional. They could be having a lot of problems dealing with the world. How can we deal with them? Well, once we make a decision to do that, love will guide us how to do that. But to understand love in this aspect, we act. When we see something, we feel compassion, we feel a certain level of respect for another individual or for something that's going on. We want to do something about it, so we act. We don't ignore. Love acts. Love isn't passive.